Yes, everybody. It's been a long time since I feel like I've done one of these in the championship season where you have an FA Cup game. It just breaks everything up terribly, doesn't it? But we're back with the player ratings and match reaction in one. The good thing about these early kickoffs, I can get these done, and I can go about my day. The goalkeeper. There's some interesting things I want to speak about. Some differences I saw today. Some little things that you see when your team's up against it a little bit that I like, especially in a derby. So things to go into the goalkeeper. Look, I don't care. I said this. I'm not wasting time on goalkeepers. Yeah, he had a dodgy moment in the first half. Whatever. Said my piece about goalkeepers. Interesting stuff. Centre backs. Now, I honestly thought these two were brilliant. And let me say something, and this is what I don't want a centre back because I don't think Ampadu's good there. I want a centre back because I want Ampadu in the six. And I'll tell you why, and I'll explain why still again. It's nothing to do with his thing at centre back. He's a good centre back. For the most part, he's a good centre back. He has a very good relationship and a partnership with Rodon, which is obviously, yeah, it's important in football, right? You know, that you've got your mate next to you and you trust each other and you know each other's game. It's important. They have a very good relationship, and he was excellent. They were both excellent today as a double, as a pair. You know, and the issue isn't him at centre back. The issue is him not in the six. That's what I want. I want him in the six. I think he's brilliant there, and I think it's a decent centre back, and a very good game today. But the rating is probably the highest because I just thought they were both really good. There's moments in games like this when it's a Yorkshire derby where it becomes you don't always have the ball, that's fine. You're a bit against it at times. It's how you deal with them moments. When the ball goes in the box, does it get out? And it did again today, and we've seen this a lot last season and this season. Partnership, anything that goes in there gets out. I think there is still a disjointed way about it in terms of build-up. When we are building up that left side, a lot of it is on Ampadu's weaker foot because you are building up down that side. And the pass is received on the outside. And I do think it negates a little bit how we build up, and we have to go long more when it's on his left because he's not left-footed. That does affect the player building up. But that's not his fault. That's the position he is. There's nothing he can do about that. That's nothing on his performance. But for the most part, I thought he was brilliant. I thought he read the game very well. He fouled when he needed to. And I'm talking about both of them here as well. I thought, again, Joe Rodon for me was really good, aggressive, really well against a physical team. Sheffield Wednesday are a physical team. Don't underrate that. They're a very physical team. All the players, bar maybe Bannon, very physical. Very strong players, or quick. You can see that just by watching the very quick physical team. Not the best technical players, but very physical. And that's tough for any defender. Even if they've got zero football and quality, they do have football quality. But what I'm saying, even in an example where they have zero football and quality, and football quality, and they're big, that's a challenge because you've got to win your battle first before you can think about the game. So I thought they did really well. But yeah, there is some little things about that, and I do want. We're so used to building up with Pascal Struijk, who on that side, and it's basic stuff. I'm honestly not too bothered about what footed player you have on each side, but the point is it's our build-up, and it's how you build up. Naturally, it's easy to pass on the outside when you're on the outside foot, right? It's obvious. And it's harder to do that, especially when it's on your weak foot and they're pressing from the right, so you can't shift it onto your right. You have to go on the outside. So that's just a little thing that the way we build up is so key to that can be a bit of an issue. You do have to go long at times. But them two are brilliant. The fullback, again, Jayden Bogle. I mean, this guy, I feel like he's underrated. I forget the numbers. I can't be bothered changing them, to be honest. I ain't got time. But Jayden Bogle was brilliant again. Such an energetic player. He seems to me he's a bit of he loves the rivalry games, Jayden Bogle. His best games this season for me have been against either rivals or teams that are top of the league. I think he's that type of player. He turns up for the big occasions type thing. He feels the energy in those games. He plays for those games. That's what he loves. He loves the competitiveness of it, the challenge. And he did today. He was unbelievable on that right side. A massively underrated thing about Jayden Bogle is the timing of his runs. someone that's so quick and direct, he's hardly ever offside. And he's always on the last man when we get it really high. He's always on that last man when he's not inside, when he goes on the outside. And he's hardly ever offside. The timing of his run is so, so good. And his ability to negate tight spaces as well and get something out of it is also very impressive. And look, he did that challenge on halfway line where he absolutely snaps the guy, and I absolutely love that. That's the type of thing you need in a situation where you've not had a foul, they're going to counter. This winger's not going to do that too many times. Boom. Straight through him, no counter. We get back in position, take the yellow, that's absolutely fine. Be careful the rest of the game. It's little things like that where you need that challenge. Many times have we been beaten there and then they're in on goal? Sometimes you have to do that. And that goes to a broader range of what I really liked about today. It wasn't necessarily the prettiest performance, but again, you guys know I don't always care about that. Growing up where I grew up, pretty football doesn't exist. You have to grit, you have to fight first. That's the way it is. In the old Yorkshire Huddersfield District League, it's everyone's bigger than you, everyone's scarier than you. You have to fight, you have to win them fights, especially when you're a footballing team, or in my case and a lot of other people's on our teams. We were always a young team. We were always quite small compared to the other teams we played because we came straight from under 18s. So you have to be strong, you have to be physical. Leeds are a technical side. They're very good on the ball. They like to play the ball. But you have to show that little bit of edge off it. And there was a period where, you guys know it, where there was 7 or 8 tackles all in one. And we battled for every one of them. And we were always a man there when they got it loose. We didn't let them out of that shape. We battled for it. And in a game like this, you need it. And the ref let it go. Now, I thought it was terrible, if I'm being honest. And then they get a good game. What annoys me about refs, just very, very quickly, the advantage rule is the best rule in football. It's the best. It's so good. The advantage rule, they'd never use it, ever use it. They only use it on big counterattacks. Use it. Play on. Tell them to play on. You've still got the ball. If it's a half challenge, don't give it. Play on. Just play on. It makes the game free-flowing. It makes it quicker. It makes it more entertaining. It's an entertainment sport. That's what you pay the money for. Hard-earned cash. That's a little dig there, but you've got to show the grit. You've got to show the pride, the power, and the aggression, tackles, the willingness to fight. And I think we did at times today. Anything that came in the box, we got rid of. We battled at the edge of the box for the most part. In them little tight circles, we fight, we battle. I love it. I love it. And Sam Byram did his thing. Like I said, I'm not going to criticise him for doing things that he can't do because he's not left-footed, which everyone seems to do, and it makes zero sense to me because you can literally criticise Ampadu for the same thing today. We've got two right footers on the left side. Balance isn't perfect in that sense, is it? Let's be honest. It just isn't. Everything is naturally more inside because they're going to press you on your... This is what you need to understand. When you're on the opposite wing, they're going to press you, your strong foot, so you can't get it to your strong foot. They're going to make you play your weak foot. But I thought he did well in the build-up, decent defensively, won a few headers. He's always there, he's always a threat, he's always consistent. Until third post fit, he's doing a fine job. Midfield, a bit here and there. I don't know what I did then. I have no idea what that was. No idea. But it is what it is, isn't it? Midfield was, I think on the ball, similar things as usual, very good. Off the ball, I'll be honest, I think Rothwell struggled today. It's not, like I said, it's not his game, and I keep saying this. And this is why I want Ampadu in the 6. Most of their attacks, or most of their kind of chances came from a runner beyond the midfield. Now, Rothwell's good at holding the play, so when they're in front of him, jockeying, intercepting, he's very good at that. He's good at reading the play in front of him. But when you turn your back to goal, when he's running back, he's not a good defender. That's not his play. That's not his game. Tanaka's all right at it. Like, he can track a little better for me, but he's still not perfect. They don't read the game defensively like Ampadu does, and you need him in there. Like we saw when Gruev came in, they didn't really get him behind our midfield, and all it really took was one off-the-ball movement from it was either one of their wingers, one of their high players, just beyond our midfield, and they were just a little slow to turn back, and they don't really understand where the angle is for the pass, where they cut out. It's an issue. think it's mainly a transition thing. When we're deep in a block, it's not that bad because there's not many spaces and someone else can cover it. But I keep saying it. Ampadu he snuffs so much things out today if he's in that midfield. That's the key for me. He's so good in there. He doesn't get run beyond, ever. Doesn't happen to Ampadu. I mean, ever's a lot. It hardly ever happens. He reads the ball so well. If a midfielder runs off him into the space behind him, he's really good at running back. These two are not ideal at that. That's not their game. So that's my only thing. But on the ball, they were great. Rothwell faded a little bit. But it was so nice to see Gruev come on and get some minutes as well and really shore the play up, which is good stuff. And Tanaka's goal, by the way, I mean, we're going to talk about the subs in a minute because they were spot on today. But that little flick is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Unreal finish. Unreal finish. Showing his goal scoring side now from midfield, which is great. I need Rothwell to get a goal, though. But yeah. The forwards, again, this is where we're going to talk about the subs in a sec and the competition we've got there. And we'll do it now, why not? See, people have been talking about Ramazani needs to start. I've not seen enough until today. Relax. Until today to suggest that he's going, yeah, I want to start. I'm ready. I'm here. I'm fit. I'm sharp. And I'm going to show you that. I think he showed glimpses in previous games. But after the injury, when he came back, I remember saying, got props to myself. You've got to do it every now and again because no one else will. I think it was about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, when I said he's about 3 or 4 weeks off match fit. When you have an ankle injury, it takes time. It takes confidence on your foot. It takes confidence to running, changing direction. It's all about the mind. It's a confidence thing. You got to get power back in that leg as well because you can't do anything with an ankle injury, obviously. You have to wait for it to heal before you do anything. And that takes it out of you. When the team's in training intensely every single week, it takes weeks out of you. And now, what we're seeing now, this player that came on the pitch today for 10, 15 minutes, was the player that is saying to these two guys, I want to start. That's the level I expect from him. And now he's at that level. And now we can have a conversation about it. Now we can. Now he's ready. I'll say that. Maybe not for a start, because we don't know how long that longevity is yet in his fitness. But what he did when he came on was exactly what I expect the subs to do that are not playing. That is it. Not what you saw previously. That. It was really good. But these guys here, this is the problem, or the good issue that Farke has. These two are really good again. Dan James, I think, had an underrated performance. He was very direct. We didn't find him a lot, which was annoying him, and it annoyed me a little bit. He made the runs, but we just hesitated a little bit to find him. But the times we did, he looked dangerous, he looked sharp, he got stuff into the box. He did his thing. He looked very sharp and dangerous. I know what people are going to do. They're going to instantly just shut Dan James out and bring Ramazani in because that's what people do. For some reason, people just don't like James, but you don't get 10 goals and assists or in a game. He's just, yeah, get him out, bring him in. The fact of the matter is he was excellent. He ran his backside off. Now, I think there's scope for rotation. We have a game midweek. Injuries are a problem. So you might see rotation in there because of that. But let's see. But Dan James is very good. Manor Solomon, again, he's our most consistent attacker this season, right now. He really is. He's at that level for me now. I think he looks really good, really composed, really calm on the ball, making the right decisions. He very rarely loses it because he just makes good decisions. It's not the most aggressive decisions at times. It isn't. But he's really key and really smart in the way he builds a play up. That's the difference. You see Ramazani come on, he's all about freedom. He's all about the kind of flow of the game, going with it, taking pot shots, which means he'll lose it more, but you also might get a more better outcome, more G&A. But you might lose it more. Whereas Solomon just sits nicely in that middle. A lot of his touches, I used to do this as a winger when I'm struggling for form, but he just does it anyway because it's just that composed. When it's bad for you and it's not coming off, the first 4 or 5 touches are just simple passes, just to get a flow of the game and understand the marker and where he's going to go when you touch the ball. And then you build up confidence in the game. Manor can flick that on and off at any time. He'll pass the ball back 3 times in a row, and the next time he get it, boom, he's beat 3 of them. And he'll get a good pass off at the end of his move. A key part of him is that final ball, the detail on the pass. He hits it hard, he hits it across the ground. It's not behind the player, it's into their path. But then he makes that decisive run into space or into the box. He's a really good combination player. And he's very good today. And another beautiful finish from him. Very well composed. Let's be honest, a lot of our players would have missed that. But he didn't. Definite conversations to have with those three. Nonto's not at it yet, still for me. I thought when he came on, he did some decent combinations with Bogle, and that's important to say. And we didn't really find him as much as we probably should, and that's probably on us. But he's just got to put his head down and keep getting through this, keep working hard at training, and find that top form. You talk about minutes, we can talk about not getting the chance from Ramazan. He came on today and showed exactly to the manager why he should play. Nonto just needs to, and I'm not, people exaggerate everything. He's fine. He just needs to find his form again. And he'll do that, I'm sure he will, because he's a good player. But yeah, definite conversations to have. And these two, I know this one here, Joe Perreault, is going to be controversial. Because I'm seeing a lot of things, and I disagree. I think he had a quietly good game. For me, the reason he didn't have so many touches was not on him at all. He made the runs. He found the spaces, similar to Dan James. At times we didn't find him. When he did touch it, he was good. He made the right decisions almost every time he got the ball. The best thing about Joel Perreault, for me, the best kind of style for him is less touches. Because he's not a quick player. So the more touches he has, the slower the ball gets, the slower the play gets. If he can find the space and give and go, simple thing, give and go, give the ball to someone else and go back and then attack the box, he's dangerous. He's very dangerous. And he did that today. I thought every time the ball came into him, he made the right decision quickly and give it away. And that's what you want your centre forward to do. It's up to you to give it to him more. I thought it was had quite a good game, and people disagree, but honestly, I think if you watch it back and just watch him, I think you'll see he didn't do anything wrong in the game at all. Everything he did was clean. It was precise. It was decent. I think there was one time maybe where his touch was not good. But after that, I thought he was very concise. It's an underrated thing in a player. Everyone expects him to have so many touches to have a good game. You don't need many touches to have a good game. It's what you do with the touches, for me, what makes you effective in the game. You could have 300 touches in a game. 200 of them are... 300 is excessive, but most of them not doing anything. You're not affecting the player. And then you could have 20 touches in the game and just be just as effective as the guy who had 300. It's about what you do with it. And I just thought he was very safe, did very well, picked the right passes for me today. Aronson again. I mean, it's the same old thing with Brendan. He's working through it, but yeah. Again, for the first goal, brilliant run beyond the defender, excellent movement. We saw that many times in the game, 2 or 3 times on the half turn, high up, turning that ball, and our wingers attacking, excellent. But 3 or 4 times again, holding on to it a little longer. I thought he did really well. He won a lot of free kicks today, Aronson. He was getting his body in front of the defender a lot, and that's an underrated thing. He won a lot of free kicks in there. But there's still 2 or 3 times in the game where, especially during our counters, where his brain's kind of, what do I do? I actually thought today, in terms of driving at players, I don't think he's done that as much as he did today. Which is very good. That shows a different side to him now. But it was the end product. Consistently again. That's something that, I'm not going to keep saying it because I'm just boring myself, but that's something that you have to take into account. That's something that you have to keep improving on or keep trying to improve on. We still need a different option in there. Because again, he's playing more minutes than anyone this season. And we just simply shouldn't, even if we can, we should not rely on a player for 48 games, 46 games in a season. Every minute. It's just too much for any football. I don't care what anyone says. It just is. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I appreciate all the support as usual. I mentioned the subs, I think. Oh, Mateo Joseph. Yeah, look, I liked his aggression today. That's something I said I need to see from him more. He just needs to go back to the basics. When you come on, you're not going to get a lot of the ball. You're a striker. It doesn't happen. Just be aggressive. Every moment you can. Impact the game. His pressing was brilliant. His aggressiveness was good. The first thing he did when he held the ball up, he secured the ball first before he tried to play. Brilliant. Secured it, knew where the defender was, got his body between him, then give it. The basics. And he was good. And again, That's better from him. He showed intensity, and I love that. If he shows that intensity, keep going with it. The other side of it will come. That's the groundwork, the basic stuff. So yeah, Mateo was good when he came on as well. Another sub that impacted the game in a positive way. Same for Gruev as well, and I think Gilavoid came on the last few minutes. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, top of the league, eh? Top of the league. See you guys in a bit. Thank you for the support. You're all legendary. Bye bye.